Today I'm going to show you how to trade moving averages. Very simple strategy, yet it works every single time. Let's begin our session. Right, so we are on tradingview.com. I'm going to be showing you some examples. Since it's only Saturday today, I cannot be live trading, unfortunately. But if you subscribe to my channel, I'll be doing some live trading sessions with the techniques and strategies I show on this channel. So the first thing we need is some sort of trend. This strategy won't work without the trend. So maybe let's do a replay or something like that. So it seems like we are live trading. But I'm on USD CAD at the moment. It doesn't matter where you are or which time frame you're using. I'm on the daily currently, but you can be using for scalping or, swing trading, whatever. It works on every single time frame. So the first thing we're gonna need is a indicator. We simply will need a moving average indicator, and I'm only going to be using one in this strategy, and the length of it will be 30. The reason for that is some people get confused with these moving averages. I sometimes use 20 and 50. This is what I like to use personally, but you can use 30 because it's in between 20 and 50 and it shows pretty much the same type of information. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for some sort of steady movement towards the upside. Currently, that's what I'm seeing. I am also seeing a cross between the moving average line finishing its downtrend and coming back towards the upside. We can totally see this over here. The candlesticks are above the moving average line, which shows it's on an uptrend, and this moving average line will act as a support for the candlesticks, and that's the only technique we need. We also know that it's on a trend line, right? Has been bouncing off. How to confirm a nice trend line? Well, for me at least, that's my rule. If it doesn't bounce off 3 times, it's not a ideal trend line, but it has over here. We can see it, 1 touch, 2 touches, 3 touches. It's a valid trend line. It's on an upwards trend line, especially this is on the daily time frame. So what else do we need? Well, we can do some sort of resistances. Maybe rectangle tool. We can see an area of sensitivity over here. This was the previous higher high. We can mark that just to know that maybe market will fluctuate and bounce off this area of sensitivity, right? So what do? Well, where can we enter? Well, we totally can enter over here already. If we enter this trade long, because that's the fair touch, right? Let's just have a look in the brush tool. There we go. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches. Our moving average line is below the candlesticks because it's on an uptrend. So we can totally, scalp this, if you're on the 5-minute, 1 hourly or something like that. Or, swing trade this, if you're on the daily time frames, something like that. Your take profit low really doesn't have to be something considerable, because most of the time on 30 moving average line, it won't break it. It might break a little bit. That's why you might want to have a stop loss though just below the line, just to have a little bit of moving space in case it just turns around, but it might stop you out. That's why you just want something in regards to this. I think this is a pretty good trade. Risk to reward 2.13, which is pretty damn good, I should say. The ideal entry should be when it bounces off it. So if it goes towards the downside, touches this area of sensitivity or this 30 moving average line, it will surely go towards the upside because it's currently on the uptrend. That's what we have established, right? So let's just have a look. Right, if it breaks like that, it doesn't really break our trend line, because look, the moving average line, as I said, is around this area. As you can see it over here, the orange line, it has been around there, and it acts as a huge support area. And look at here, if we have a look at these candlesticks, even though it dropped towards the downside, we see bullish pressure. We see this pin bar over here towards the upside. We know that it's on a nice area of sensitivity, so we don't need this trend line over here. That's how we establish the 1, 2, 3 touches. That's the only reason why we draw it. Generally what we're looking for is just this 30 moving average line. So that's what we're seeing, and look, if it goes towards the upside, it would have hit our take profit level very nicely indeed. As you can see, it was only a 45 pip stop loss. We have it on 80, so it was pretty damn good. And yeah, we carry on. Look, if we just maybe let's just close it off. It comes back towards the area of sensitivity again, the moving average line, as we see it over here. This would be the third touch, the fourth touch, excuse me, 1, 2, 3 touches, fourth touch over here, maybe you could have even entered here, 5 touch, went up over here, reached our take profit. We are looking maybe for another trade, goes back down to the 30 moving average line. We enter over here. If we have, a long position, maybe let's say he just dropped it over here, have around 80 stop loss, and there we go, we are entering. And look at this, this is a beautiful trade yet again. 131 pip take profit, stop loss of 80, risk to reward not the best, 163 over here, but it's still, valid trade. As you can see, it never goes down below 49. As you can see, if you had, on 70, 60, you could even have, a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Now the interesting part, it's already reached our area of resistance, right? We marked it over here. It's our higher high. It previously reached this zone. As you can see, went down, went down, went down again. It's very likely it's gonna go down again, so let's see what happens. And look, it went down, it reached our area of sensitivity. You could have potentially entered here, long, and you could have made again a lot of money. Let's just, maybe long it. Maybe we would be late to enter the trade. It would have still been a very nice trade indeed. We obviously have our stop loss though just around 30 moving average line. We always want to have it below it, just in case the market kind of dips a little bit and tries to stop hunt. Usually markets, that's what they do. They know that people are selling and buying in these areas, so sometimes they just drop and then come back. That's why we see some of these massive wicks. These are stop hunts. As you can see, it broke out. So what do? If it breaks out, we need to figure out where the market will go. I wouldn't have entered here personally, just because I know it's an area of sensitivity, right? It came back, it broke out, it came back, but we don't know whether it's gonna find a lot of sellers in this area, because it was previously respected quite a lot, right? So I wouldn't have entered here personally. Once I saw this break or something, or like a bullish engulfing candle, we see it over here. The previous red candle was very weak, and then we see this bullish engulfer. It shows that there's that bullish pressure towards the upside and the bulls are in the market. So what do? We are waiting for a pullback towards the downside, reaching this 30 moving average line, and we are buying yet again. So let's see if that happens. Boom, it touches this area. This is where we buy yet again, because it's obviously touching our moving average line. It's also on a nice steady uptrend. It works on a downtrend and uptrend, but it doesn't work on a consolidating markets if the moving average line is totally inside, let's say, the candlesticks, and it's moving something in regards to that. The trade is invalid. You cannot place this trades, and this strategy will not work. But if it's moving like that, if it's already bounced off 3 times, it's a nice established uptrend, which will probably continue and will make us some money. So let's see if that happens. We would have dropped over here as we see it. We would have entered here, maybe enter somewhere around this area. As you can see, I would have personally placed this stop loss just below the horizontal area of sensitivity, because we already marked it. We know that it's a huge area of sensitivity. It bounced back multiple times in this area, so that's why you would have had your stop loss just below it. And as we can see it over here, it's going back towards the upside. You could have even be safe guy and entered it over here, with this candle over here. It dropped down, testing the 30 moving average line and going back up, now having a new higher high as well, because this was the previous 2 highs. Right now it's breaking towards the upside, making a new higher high, which shows that there's a lot of bullish pressure and the markets move like this. Area sensitivity, sensitivity always comes back to the area sensitivity. So that's what we're doing. We're waiting, pull back, waiting. So let's see if that happens. Look, it's going towards the upside. As you can see, push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion. That's the way markets move. You could have potentially entered here, but I wouldn't have personally, because it's not really touching it. I mean, it depends how patient you are. If you're not that patient, you could have potentially entered here, and it could have been a potentially nice trade towards the upside. However, if you want to be a safe trader, and I recommend you guys wait a little bit, wait for the perfect entry, and then you will be making money consistently. That's all Forex is. It's all about probability and a good entry. So let's see see how much USD CAD will last, how long this trend line will continue. It's obviously shooting towards the upside. Whether there was any opportunities, this could have potentially been an opportunity, but as I said, if you're impatient, you could have taken it. But if you're a patient trader, you should have just waited it. So let's see what's going on. You could have potentially entered here in this area, here in this area, because obviously it's nearly touching this area. It's quite a nice trade over here. It probably would have been 204 pip take profit low, so it's amazing. You know, we have this bearish engulfing candle going down. I would have entered this trade somewhere on this green candle because it's a bullish engulfing candle, you know, coming back from the 30-minute zone. Obviously came back down, and there we go. It's pushing towards the upside yet again, now reaching a double top. Let's see if it turns around. And there we go, after a double top, obviously, you know, two tops, and now making even a head and shoulders pattern. We see it head, shoulders, shoulders, you know, it should be going down now. So let's see if that happens. And there we go, head and shoulders pattern was formed. We see it over here, head, shoulder, another shoulder. After the first shoulder, it usually drops. That's what's happening currently. So we knew this is happening. You see this area of sensitivity over here, 30 moving average line, also acts as a resistance now, because the trend line is now on a downtrend. It's always acted as a resistance, or let's just call it area of sensitivity. You could have potentially entered here, but not because of the, you know, trend line technique that I showed you. Well, you can, as you can see, 1, 2, 3 touch. Even here, you could have been a profitable trade, but I would have entered here personally because of head and shoulders pattern. You know, it just makes sense to do that. You know, also a downtrend, you know, 1, 2, 3 touches, you know, a continuation towards the downside. Very easy technique, and you can use this technique on 1 minute, you know, 5 minutes, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 day, weekly, monthly, whatever. It works. And if you don't believe me, check this out. You know, go to tradingview.com. I have a link down in the description below, and check it out yourselves. You know, the history tells us that this technique works, and you can use this. You know, it's an awesome strategy. Very simple to learn. You just need to be patient, and if you're a patient enough trader, you're gonna be making money. I can guarantee it. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button, comment down below if you don't understand something, and share this video to your friends if you found it helpful. This was Elders from the Forex Trading Alliance. Make sure to join my VIP Trading Signals group. We've been killing the markets. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful day. Peace out and goodbye.
Everything changes.